You go to your bed, cover up yourself with a blanket. You go to sleep. You have lost all the three worlds. Your vast empire. And you have placed your ego under the bed like like sandals. All happens so naturally you'd hardly understand. But if you become thoughtful, then you begin to have a deeper movement within yourself. Who am I? What happens to me when all the three have gone at the time in the night when you are sleeping? Your me was not upset at all. That me, that I am, is your reality. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Brahmanandam Param Sukadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gagana Sadrisham Tattvamasya Laksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadhi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavatitam Triguna Sadgurum Tam Namami. Om. Adoration to Sadguru, who is Brahman, the giver of supreme bliss, embodiment of pure consciousness, one without a second, vast as the ether, infinite, eternal, beyond the three gunas and their modifications, the supreme preceptor. Yoga Vasishtha Upashama Prakarana, section 29. And presently it is the episode of Vaman avatar. We are listening to the episode of Bali, King Bali, how he began to practice spiritual vichar, reflection. And we are coming to the conclusion of his reflection. And then what happens is all allegorical, and I will explain. Thus, having reflected deeply upon the illusory nature of the world, Bali no longer found the need of rejecting the world or being immersed in samadhi. The world always understand it has three planes. Bhur, Bhuva, Swa. Bhur, that's where you are. Bhuva, that's happening within yourself. How you are feeling. Where are you? Are you here? Or are you somewhere? I'm joking. Your feeling gives another dimension. And feeling moves not in space, in the physical space. Physical space becomes little compared to how you feel. So you have to understand it's not an ordinary physics. An ultimate space we talk about is absolute self, Brahman. So Bali has discovered, realized the ultimate. Aham Brahmasmi, I am absolute. Once you have realized that, Bhuha Sanyastam Maya, the world of practical reality is no longer, it's kind of illusion, a kind of leela. It's a sport. It's not, sometimes you wake up in your dream and then you realize all that is happening in your dream doesn't really matter to you, but you can watch your dream. You can be a bird and flying. So not only physical reality, which is from advanced point of view, is Maya illusory expression of the divine self. And then your feeling-based reality is another expression of the divine self. God or Brahman is expressing in three planes. Your practical reality, your sentimental reality, and reality based on your intellectual understanding. But the reality is beyond all this. Neither your physical reality is real. Why? You can't hold on to it. You can't even ask the Earth planet to stay on. It's constantly like a spacecraft. Nothing in the world is permanent. And that truth is that which never changes. And the Earth is changing the Earth every moment. The Earth is in vain. So practical reality is not the reality. Feeling-based reality, that's not reality even for yourself. How you felt 5 days back, you don't care for it. So it is not reality. Intellectual-based reality, even the scientist goes on discovering more and more. And then they look back, oh, that was wild. We're not civilized enough. The same scientists, one time they didn't believe that the earth was gold, round. And I'm not going into that area. What I'm implying, even scientific views goes on changing with advancement. So your intellectual evaluation goes on changing. So that's not the reality. The reality goes beyond bhur bhuva swa. And that's the mantra recited in sannyasa. You renounce all the bhu sanyastamaya, bhuva sanyastamaya, swa sanyastamaya. And Bali is going through that type of renunciation, but not by initiation, by actual experience. Now, in the storyline, when Bali came to that type of realization, having renounced the subtle desires of the mind, he continued to rule his kingdom in the most elegant manner possible. So the idea that if you renounce, you don't have to do anything with the things that you have renounced. You have to understand in a different context. In your life, if you renounce, you become more expert in handling things that are not emotionally grasping you. Things, works that you are doing, if it is not, if you are doing out of your heart with a joyous, just like you begin to walk. Walk is a work. But you do it out of joyousness. Similarly, you handle your duties out of joyousness. So that's what we mean by you have renounced the earthly realities. So, having attained enlightenment, Bali continued to rule over his country. Now he became a better ruler, most elegant ruler than possible. That actually that's the political message. The world is ruled by spiritually advanced personalities. That will be the greatest joy to the whole world. We have some samples of Mahatma Gandhi in India and some other places also, very spiritually advanced people. When they ruled the other country, that was most powerful, most peaceful, progressive, and so forth. Coming back to more precise understanding, your Godward movement that goes on telling the world is illusion makes you handle the world more promptly, more skillfully, more expertly, more instantaneously. And therefore, activities that come from people who are spiritually advancing, those activities become very powerful, elegant, graceful. That's why humanity always goes on being inspired by the examples of saints and sages. Now, if you have a different type of attitude to liberation, that let the world go wherever it goes. It's a miserable wretch. I should not stretch into it. You may think you are going after liberation. You have left everything and you have become very great Vairagi. You must realize it is absolutely wrong. But that prosperity of Bali is now going to being brought into another level. Bali is going to put into trial. For whose benefit? For your benefit. The story with all this creating challenging situations and how the hero has emerged even after big challenges. That becomes a basis for everyone who hears this story to be inspired. So that's the same thing with Ramayana. Rama broke the bow. Everybody was quiet, but Parshuram stirred the whole assembly. Put Rama to test. And in the end, he said, "Oh Rama, Brahma had told me that you are the incarnation." He had told him already, but still, he comes and creates a great drama. Another drama is waiting here for Bali. He is prosperous, he is enlightened. But does the world understand his greatness? Gods now create. Indra always plays the part of putting the test. So Indra and gods, they go to Lord Vishnu and they plead that he should put Bali to test. Does he deserve to stay in Indra's heaven? Or has he attained enlightenment, liberation? Understand, liberation is your goal. That's called moksha. And if you are practicing for liberation, but if you are immature, Indra, who is symbolic of one who provides all worldly enjoyments based on your good karmas, virtuous karmas. Now that Indra begins in all storyline, Indra begins to put a test. Bhogavritti, inclination for worldly enjoyment, that is the test. If you are advancing, that inclination will not be there. If you are tempted with power and prosperity and all types of things, by saying that don't work for liberation, work for this, is more practical. You will not fall for that temptation. But the same Indra, once he realizes that a person will not fall, he becomes Upendra. He guides the soul to have his highest level, liberation. So gods went to Lord Vishnu. In his storyline, it's always presented in a spiced way, as if it is a very pathetic situation. Bali is an asura, coming from demoniac race. And he has gained all this power and the whole world, all the three worlds under his control. So Vishnu, please save us. And one time King Bali performed a great sacrifice in which the gods, sages, and all enlightened beings were present. In this sacrifice, Lord Vishnu incarnated in the form of a dwarf Brahmin who approached the king Bali and asked for a piece of land. Bali's sacrifice before, here's a picture of what Bali has attained is being shared and enjoyed by all sages and saints and all God, all great personalities. And Bali was doing that sacrifice. Once you are moving to Godward, you have started. If your Godward movement is on a high level, your sacrifice has started. Your soul is Bali. It comes from Patala Loka. Patal here is not, Patal term is used in a negative way. Netherland, not the European Netherland. But here Patal means at the root level. The mind's Patal is deep unconscious. So, Bali movement is a movement that includes the Patal, and Patal is highlighted. Even his movement is not superficial, it goes to the deepest root. And Bali continues to stay at the deep root. That's the definition of liberation. With Sthita Prajna, you are rooted in realization, Aham Brahma. And that is at the deepest level of your mental process, Patal Loka. But how does that happen? It's a very allegorical story, very interesting. And India has enjoyed a lot of drama of Vaman avatar for a long, long time. But people generally miss the real meaning behind. Now, the storyline is Bali is giving away lots and lots of things in charity to people. And he has complete control, or he dominates over all the three lokas, physical world, or whatever I have explained to you already. Lord Vishnu, now what's being brought out, I'm just giving you, while the story I'm telling you the mystical meaning also simultaneous. To the world, it is being explained that though the Bali is so powerful, he is not egoistic. So that's the big difference between enlightened and unenlightened. An unenlightened one owns many things. Ego rises to the great height. To enlightened one, the term owning doesn't mean anything. Enlightened one, he is one with God. And it has two stages. First stage, everything belongs to God. I'm an instrument in divine hand. So ego doesn't take any credit, no matter what happens. That is a matter of understanding, not balabra. If you do something nasty, and someone says, you did it? No, God did it. I'm only an instrument. Try to understand that one. It is a matter of inner experience. For being cultured, if you have done it, you say, yes, I have done it. And again, even good karmas you have done, to the people you say, yes, I have done it. But how you consider your I is your private matter. To one who is advanced, that I doesn't mean anything. Now it is presented as if Bali is being viewed as someone who has taken away the three worlds, and as if he is going to deprive Indra of his heavenly world. So Lord Vishnu comes as a dwarf, and in his sacrifice, Bali is well renowned that whoever will ask anything, a Brahmana, Brahmin is that priest class, if he were to ask anything, he will give. He will never say no. And here, Lord Vishnu comes in such a form that the question of saying no will not arise. It comes in the form of a dwarf. And when Bali asks, what can I offer to you? He says, I want just a piece of land that can be measured by my 3 feet, 3 steps. In a storyline to make it spicy. Bali says, why are you insulting me? I can give you villages, cities. Why just 3 steps of land? Your body is small, but I never thought your mind was also small. This is called spicy, this too. And Vamana says, Okay, you don't want to give? Say no. Bali says, I will. I have said it. So whatsoever, have your 3 steps. And it is done with a ritual process, and it is all accomplished. And now when time comes for him to measure the 3 steps, with 1 step he measures the entire Bhurloka. The 2nd step he measures 2 lokas in 1 big step. And the 3rd, there are only 3 lokas. He turns to Bali. Didn't you say I can measure 3 steps? What should I do with the 3rd step? And Bali said, here, put it on my head. And Vaman places the foot on his head. And Bali becomes exceedingly glorified. Figure that out, what it means. So how Bali's attainment has been now illustrated by Lord Vishnu. That all the 3 worlds for him are nothing. He's absolutely surrendered to the divine truth, God alone. The Brahmin, who was none other than Lord Vishnu, then assumed a cosmic form and measured 3 worlds by his 3 steps. Yoga Vasishtha has summarized it. I have given you from Puranic story. Thus reducing Bali to a state in which he possessed nothing at all. This act of Lord Vishnu delighted the gods. In turn, King Bali, to whom the 3 worlds were nothing but expressions of illusion, was not in the least affected by losing his vast empire. And you don't have to struggle hard to understand it. You go to your bed, cover up yourself with a blanket. And go to sleep. You have lost all the 3 worlds. Your vast empire. And you have placed your ego under the bed like like sandals. All happens so naturally you'd hardly understand. But if you become thoughtful, then you begin to have a deeper movement within yourself. Who am I? What happens to me when all the 3 have gone at the time in the night when you are sleeping? Your me was not upset at all. That me, that I am, is your reality. Allow your I am to surrender to God. Let your I am be a channel of his feet. Remember, the whole Ganges proceeds from his foot. And that foot becomes the source of the brain of Bali. And thus in the storyline, he continued to be in Patala for a long, long time. Long, long time is same as saying forever. O Rama, King Bali abides in Patala even to this very day. That means liberation means you are Brahman. And Brahman means immortality. O Rama, know the glory of self-realization, before which even the attainment of the 3 worlds, as well as their loss, cannot agitate the heart of one who is realized. That's the meaning of sannyasa. All the three words, sannyastam maya. And sannyastam maya means I have renounced all this. But what really it means, I have understood the illusion behind all this. I have broken the illusion. Bhoo, Earth planet doesn't exist. You will be surprised. You watch in TV wonderful faces, but they don't exist in your in your residence. But the miracle of technology, all we experience in the world is a miracle of technology of brain and nervous system. So, having understood that, we are not what brain is bringing out about. You are beyond. With that understanding, you are not renouncing the world. You are understanding that the world is illusion. Similarly, you are also understanding that your sentimental world is another level of illusion. And your hot world of thoughts, intellectual world, that also is illusion. But you are caught in these three worlds. Only time you have little rest when you go to sleep. If you attain some enlightenment and understand all the three are unreal, I alone am, then you are not waiting to find rest. Rest is waiting to serve you. You are in eternal rest. O Rama, know the glory of self-realization, before which even the attainment of the three worlds, you attain all the glory of the world in three stages, or you lose them all. Nothing bothers. And every day you are doing that. In dream, you attain everything, all the three worlds. And get out of the dream, you lose them. While on bed, you may miss a little. But then, as you begin to wake up in day, you completely forget about it. Gain and loss both meant nothing. What you gained, you gained three worlds, the whole universe in your dream. What you lost all those. But gain and loss, while dreaming, you lose even a penny, you are in trouble. But when you wake up from your dream and you have mental evaluation, then you understand the entire dream world is existence and not existence. Both have nothing to do with it. If that is understood in a very profound way, what you are experiencing day by day, if you understand it in a profound way, the positive counterpart, that's called enlightenment. Therefore, may you practice reflection. Reflection means vichar, and the same way as King Bali did, and become established in your essential nature, the non-dual self. O Rama, you shine like the sun, illumining all names and forms of the world. This is a description of Brahman. Brahman is your reality. If that is so, then your mind has to understand. You are pure consciousness. Think of it. Whether it's a good news for you or not. No one is your relative. No one is your friend. No one is your foe. You are absolutely alone. Because you alone exist. Figure that out. You are the non-dual self. It seems difficult to understand. Just follow simple experience of your dream. Bring a good dream that in your mind, what you have experienced. See how big the dream world was. And while dreaming, how you were so interested. You didn't know that nothing existed. The entire dream world didn't exist. And in relation to the dream world and yourself, you are absolutely alone. Figure that out. The same thing, understand in a profound way. It applies to all your experience, not just dream. All waking state is very same thing of your dream. That's what is called long dream. Dirgha sapana. Nothing is apana. The world is dirgha sapana. No harapana. Don't grab others' wealth. Do arpana. Offer all this to God, because all this is God. O Rama, you are the cosmic being. You are the Supreme Self. You are the transcendental Atman, the Self. All worlds are sustained by yourself. In the same manner as all beads in a rosary are sustained by the thread. This also is allegorical, called Brahman Sutratma. Where can you find Brahman? Everything that you know is threaded by Brahman. Where is the thread? When you are counting your beads, all your beads have the same thread. They are threaded. So everything that you are grabbing, counting, and counting, whatever. Sutra, thread goes in all. This is a profound way of meditating on God. But then you come to higher level. These all different beads, they themselves are illusory. So what are you threading? God is to be understood from many angles. There's neither birth nor death for you. No fun. When cravings increase, the disease of the world process is intensified. When cravings are gradually destroyed, the disease of the world process begins to wane. Now here is simple points to show what is progress. Are you really progressing towards enlightenment or not? What is this definite characteristic of spiritual progress? And that characteristic is not in the terms of fantastic experiences. Simply watch your craving. If your cravings are being diminished and increasing internal fulfillment is developing, that's the characteristic of your spiritual progress. Not fantastic things, light flashing out of your eyes, or amazing things happening around you. Simple point, a profound, deeper fulfillment. Fulfillment of I am. Your I am is always shaky. Your I am is the only thing you love most. And that I am is in shaky grounds. But that I am now begins to develop stability. And stability, by recognizing the I am doesn't need any support from the world. When you are going to wake up from your dream, you don't need any support from your dream mangoes and dream potatoes. So, simple. More as Krishna, craving diminishes and tripti increases. Waning of craving, waxing of fulfillment. That's a characteristic of spiritual progress. And what is the climax? When Krishna turns into Krishna. All that you are, Krishna means three types of desires. Three Ashana, Krishna. Ashanas, desires are Putreshana, you want to have progeny. Somehow your mind develops the idea, if I'm not there, my children are there. So I'm going to be very happy. It's a strange calculation in the mind. So Putreshana, that's called. And then Vitteshana, another mind calculation that, all right, many things can be wrong, but as long as I have money, I can buy everything. So go after money and possessions. And then location, another state of fun in the mind, foxy mind, that whether I have putreshana, vitteshana, doesn't matter. But if I get popular, go viral, I will be known all over. What else should I need? Working under the influence of this threefold illusion called Krishna. Cure, if you understand if you want to have your progeny happy, if you move towards God realization, your putreshana becomes absolutely fulfilled. The entire world becomes your putra. The next Reshana, Vitteshana, the entire world becomes your very self. You don't have to put the world in a treasury. It dissolves in your own self. Lokeshana, what can be more popular than God? All Ashanas are absolutely fulfilled. So from running after Krishna like a fox, now we become Krishna. O child, do not grieve in vain. Vasishtha is telling Rama. You are untouched by pleasure and pain. But that again you must realize what Vasishtha is telling Rama is the scripture to be told to everybody. When you hear Rama was hearing it, your ears get more perked up. You are the pure self that illumines all objects of the world. The entire world is Satchidananda, existence, conscious, bliss absolute. Human mind is refracting that Satchidananda. Like the sun is the reality behind all illuminations. But countless illuminations arise because the sun is being refracted by clouds or some other factors. Similarly, Brahman is pure awareness, absolute, but being refracted through every mental, every mind, through every nervous system. Same Brahman has become countless souls with countless stories. And if realization does not occur, if you don't attain liberation, then you have no vacation. You continue to roam. That which is pleasant to the mind is a source of misery. What is hidden behind it? That which is pleasant to your mind, but not agreeable to your intellect. That's a source of misery. If what is pleasant to your mind and it agrees with your intellect, not dull intellect, pure intellect, then no harm. Then you are actually, you are understanding anything pleasant is reflecting God's presence. So what you enjoy is the presence of God. Everything that you enjoy is directing your attention to God. But if you don't have that type of movement, then you are going to being led into everything that has given you pleasure. Now your mind is working of how to secure that object of pleasure. Then your mind is working how many people want to get that object that you want. Then your foxy process goes on. How can I grab it? How can I secure it? Etc. etc. While that which is unpleasant to the mind in the form of austerity, control of senses, and the practice of various yogic disciplines is a source of joy. So minds going after pleasure without your intellect's permission or guidance. In other words, you are just driven by the whims of your mind. Then all your fun in the world will not be healthy. You will continue to run in vain. Therefore, do not incline your mind to the objects of his delight. And so the disciplines that ask you not to go after your fancies or your uncontrolled mind and senses. Don't go after the eat, drink, be merry mantras. 3 great mantras: eat, drink, merry. Or marry to get all the 3. That's the source of misery. And anything that takes you away from this is interpreted by pain. But what seems like pain is really a source of great joy. You are interpreting austerity, practice of sadhana as pain. That pain is really the source of all your gain. Don't understand it? Shame. Therefore, do not incline your mind to the objects of pleasure, but lead it through the apparently distasteful spiritual process. Apparent. Each time you new sadhana is given, little hurdle comes in a person. But be led until ascending heights of wisdom are attained. Ascending heights of wisdom is the highlight of yoga. First step, Shubhecha. You have developed aspiration. You are not living just for perspiration. There is aspiration, there is a meaning, there is a purpose. And when purpose is well defined, you are developing great qualities, and each one has a big detail. Then next step, vicharana. When you are well qualified as aspirant, now you have your mind set to understand who am I. If you are not well qualified, your mind simply says, I have no time. I have time for everything else, but not that. It's old stuff. So, Shubhecha, aspiration, vicharana, inquiring mind. And then comes Tanu Manasi. All things that keep your mind under stress. Your egoism, your anger, your hate, or negative sentiments. They begin to diminish to such an extent that they stay in your mind. You can use your anger without being egotistic for a purpose. They were like snakes with venom. But now their teeth are broken, the poison fangs. So that's called Tanu Manasi. Your impurities are attenuated. And then fourth step, Sattvapatti. Now you are come into very solid ground of spiritual movement. From there you will not fall back. And now you will be recognized as Jivan Mukta. Though still you are going further up and up, but you have no choice, but just go up and up. There's no falling back. The Sattvapatti state is like as if you have become awakened. You begin to understand the world you are experiencing, but it is a sport, Leela. You go further, the world has become more and more appearance. You are experiencing the world as if you are experiencing a dream. Just like in a dream, you at a dream awakening stage comes. Even in a dream, you develop the dream that you are awakened. Then the whole dream becomes different. So that's the state of Asam Sakti. Asam Sakti. You are living in the world can't touch you. You go into next step. Padartha Bhavana. The world you were experiencing was like a dream, but now not even dream. You are in absolute sleep. But all these are internal descriptions. A sage in this state will be dynamically involved in the world. Example, Shankaracharya. But no matter how involved, his inward understanding, nothing. Brahman alone. Next step is the transcendental. Now it can't be described by your mind. Your mind itself melts away. So all these 7 steps of wisdom, they are called the ascending heights of wisdom. And with this I will conclude.
Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate Om Shanti Shanti Shanti